For those of you who are just joining, it's a Q&A for Uber and Lyft drivers. What we do here is that we answer any questions that you may have about rideshare, Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart, the whole 9 yards. We do answer any questions that you may have on rideshare. I also answer questions on medical career. I also answer questions on Uber Black. My name is Timothy. I drive in Chicago. So if you have any questions, they deactivated my account on both of them. Look, unfortunately, I can't give you educated answer on deactivations. The only people who can give you proper answers on deactivations are the platforms. Go read the emails. They'll tell you exactly what you need to do. The reason why I don't give out information on deactivations is that most of the people that are out there, they're scam artists. They just want to take your money. The DMV canceled my license. Why did they cancel your license? Have you gone to the DMV and asked them? Everybody, so you should. That's the first question everybody's going to ask you. If you go to Uber, they're going to ask you, why did they cancel? If you go to Lyft, they're going to ask you the same question. Just like I'm asking you the same question. So please, go to the DMV and ask them why they canceled it. I'm located in Chicago. So my name is Timothy. I drive in Chicago. I've been at this for 6 years. I can pretty much answer any question you got. Yes, so please go to the DMV with that letter and let them explain to you why. You can't address the problem if you don't know why they canceled it. So you have to go there and ask them why they canceled it. Then you have a pretty good idea on how to fix the problem. Even me, I can't help you because you have no idea why it was canceled. So how do we start to tackle the problem? On my license, it says it's valid for 2029. So again, whatever it is you're telling me is conflicting. You told me it was revoked. Now you're saying it's valid for 2029. Lately, it has been slow in San Antonio. Should I try driving midnight 9 a.m. versus... So you drive 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., midnight to 9 a.m. So undermine zero. You're right. Try something else. If it's not working, try something else. I'll usually give it a week. Don't change just one day. And if you don't like the results, give up. No, you have to collect data, right? 7 days is a very good time to collect data. So drive consistently for 7 days. Look at the numbers. If you like them, then change your plan. If you drive for 7 days and the numbers are still not good, then try something else. But usually when I tell people to change, they drive for 1 day, then they say, no, it's still the same. When you change, you're not yet good at the change. So you have to do it consistently for 7 days so that you can get good at it. The DMV made a mistake on their end and sent me a 5-year one. Yes, it was for some legal reason. Based on how you're answering, you don't want to tell us the reason why. And maybe it's private. I understand that. But there's no way I can help you if you do not tell me what the problem is. Now I understand. So USIS, did they revoke the license? Was it conditional on your visa? Is that what the problem is? So you are no longer meeting the criteria for your visa, and that's why they took it away? Are people from India not tippers usually? I don't get nothing for We're not going to start stereotyping people here. Even black people are not tippers, and I'm black. So I don't think we'd find out for that. With administration, come on, with this administration, they're doing everything that they can. If I were you, I would go to the DMV and find out. The DMV should tell you. Sahir Khan says, man, you're just teaching people how to be slaves to Uber. Hey, maybe this channel is not for you. You're allowed to scroll. You're allowed to go to another page. You don't have to watch my stuff. I'm not putting a gun to your head. If you don't want to watch my channel, you don't want to watch my videos, you don't think that the advice I'm giving out makes any sense, just change the channel. It's that simple. I'm not forcing anyone. I'm not asking you for your money. I'm not asking anybody for money. If you don't like my message, change the channel. Do you recommend renting a car to do Uber through Uber app? No, I do not recommend it. I only recommend... Okay, let me take that back. I recommend it if you're doing it short term, right? So you need to start immediately and you're going to drive for 4 or 5 months and you're saving up money to buy a car. Then yes, I would recommend it. But to do it long term, no, I would not recommend it. And here's why. Renting a car from Uber and Lyft is $400 a week. That is $1,600. That is a car note for 3 cars. That's how much they're taking from you. That's a mortgage, right? $1,600. So no, I do not recommend you renting a car unless you're doing it short term. Your car has broken down. you need to make money or whatever, yes, you can pay off the 400 a week takes using one day, but it just doesn't make sense long term. You're going to lose money. So guys, here at the bottom we have a QR code. The QR code has my name and number. I can make you one with your name and number. So when you're driving for Uber, you can put it on your steering wheel, on your dashboard. You can put it on the back where the passenger sits. You can put it on your headrest. And when the passenger is finally comfortable with you and they say, hey, can you drive me privately? You say, yes, absolutely. Can you give me your number? They scan the QR code. It has your name and number. It immediately goes into their phone. All they have to do is press save. That's what the QR code at the bottom is. For those who are just wondering, please remember, double tap the screen. 1 for new drivers, 2 for intermediate, 3 for experience. Let us know what city and state you're from so we can direct the live. How do you drive Uber when you have World Cup to watch? My teams are Ghana, Senegal, and Germany. Those are my teams. I know everyone is going to say, oh, how can you leave out France? How can you leave out Brazil? Those are my teams, Ghana, Senegal, and Germany. And yes, I'm watching the World Cup. How does it work if you want to use someone's car for Uber? There are 2 ways I understand this question. The first one is you want to rent somebody's car. Now, that one is pretty self-explanatory. The second way I understand that question is you want to use somebody else's account. Now, if that's what you're saying, I can't help you with that, because any advice I give you on that is just going to get you into trouble, right? And that's not what I do. I don't get people into trouble. Delilah, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for the support. Do you think it's okay to have a car note for Uber? Let me answer this carefully, right? The lifespan of a rideshare car is 2.5 years. A car note of a car starts from 4 to 5, 6, 7 years. So no, I would not recommend a car note, because that car will be done in 2.5 years, 3 years, and you'll still be paying the car note, right? So if you can, I would suggest that you put a large sum down. Put 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 grand down so that you can pay that car off in 2.5 years. If you get a car note for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, it's not going to be economically viable for you. The lifespan of a rideshare car is 2.5 years. And that's me being conservative, right? You're going to average 300 miles a day, which puts it at 100,000 miles a year, right? It is very hard to run into a car that is taking that beating and has 250, 280,000 miles and is still running properly, right? And that's how long it takes. 100,000 miles per year. So 2.5 is a good time without the car giving you trouble, right? After that, you're going to spend a whole lot more on fixing the car. So no, I would not recommend you getting a car note for Uber unless you put a large sum of money down. You put $10,000 down. You put $8,000 down, $5,000 down, and make sure that you have that car paid off in 2 years. Or you get a 4-year loan and you pay double every month. So, or you can do it like me. What I do, I go to car rental places like Budget, Enterprise, and Hers. They sell their rental car companies every 3 years. They usually sell them at about 50,000 miles, and they average anywhere from $10,000 to $16,000. So I usually buy mine cash, right? And that's how I buy my cars. So a new car is 25,000. A car with 50,000 miles is about 11, 12,000. And it's going to last you 2.5 years. It's going to last you about the same time as when you buy a new one, but it's going to save you some money. So that's what I do. You don't have to do it. That's what I do. Delilah, I'm really glad to know that you've actually, that's what I make the videos for. Thank you for the support. I always love it when people learn from the videos. That's what I make them for. How do you price rides for personal rides? 3 ways. There are 3 ways to price private rides. The first one is to look at the Uber Rider app, and whatever it is that they would normally charge the rider, you charge less by $10 or $15. That's the first way. The second way is to charge a flat rate. A flat rate is if as long as you hire me, whether it's 15 minutes, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's 1 hour, I'm going to charge you a flat rate. I usually recommend you do it per hour. Say for example, I'm going to charge you for $45 an hour. So that's a flat rate. Then the third one is, now that when you're experienced, you use distance and time, just like Uber does. So those are the three ways you do it. The first one is for people who are just starting out. They're new at the game. They don't know how to do it. All you have to do is just open the Uber Rider app. And let's say the person is going from Chicago to O'Hare, the airport. That's what you put in the Uber app. You say, Chicago to O'Hare, how much is it? It's 65 bucks that you would pay Uber. So you charge the person 40 or 45. That way the person benefits from using you because they're spending less than Uber. Then when you start getting better and better at it, now in general how much you spend per hour or how much you want to earn per hour, that's when you charge a flat rate. And then when you become now real experienced at it, now half of your clients are private, and then you start charging distance times time. That way when you drop someone off, say for example you're taking them to the doctors, and then they say, you know, why don't you wait for me for 30 minutes? So you charge them a flat rate, and then you tell them, for every 15 minutes I wait, I'm going to charge you an extra $10 or an extra $5 or whatever. Or you say the first 20 miles will be $40, then the next 10 or whatever I'll charge $1 a mile or whatever. So you can customize it based on your goals, what it is that you're trying to achieve, and based off of your experience on how you've been driving and your expenses and all that. So that's how it's done. Bitter Truth, how are you doing today? Welcome to live. Cool Sabin says, I've changed mine. What have I changed? Yes, you drive almost 300 miles every day. That's correct. That sounds about right. And when you do that, it brings it down to about 100,000 miles a year. That's what I was telling the gentleman, that's why you don't want a car note, because you're going to put 100,000 miles on a car every year. So in 2 years, if you're driving it constantly every day, and in 2 years you're at 200,000 miles, then the car starts breaking down from there. I wouldn't recommend getting a car note. Money the Fragrance, well, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing today? Starman says thanks, you're welcome. How long you drive Uber a day? So I have a daily goal. My daily goal is anywhere from $260 to $300. So depending, when I start driving, I will know how much I'm going to make based on what is coming in, and I will make an assessment. So if it's going great, then I'll say 300. If it's not going great, then I'll say I'm willing to take home 260 today, and then I will know how long it's going to take me. So on average, it takes me anywhere from 8 hours to 12 hours depending on my goal. But I don't go home until I've met my goal. So I'll say today I'm going to make 300. If it takes me 8 hours, as soon as I clock 300, I leave. If it's 8 hours, I leave. If it's 9 hours, I leave. If it takes me up to 12 hours to make it, I'll take the 12 hours to make it. So it depends on the goal that I've set for the day. And I always set my goal for the day based on my first 7 rides. My first 7 rides will tell me how the day is going and how I'm going to, and you know, what goal I should hit that day. Does Uber and Lyft listen to your conversations? I don't know. I don't care. I would worry if I were lying. I'm not lying. What it is that they do is pretty much the truth. So I have nothing to worry about. They can't take me to court for speaking the truth. Guys, remember to double tap the screen. Type 1 if you're a new driver, 2 if you're intermediate, 3 if you're experienced driver. Let us know what city and state that you're from. My name is Timothy. I drive in Chicago. I've pretty much done this for 6 years. I can pretty much answer any rideshare question you have. Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart. I also answer questions on medical career. I also answer questions on Uber Black. Investor Mike makes $550 a day in the DMV on weekends for 14 hours. Yes, 14 hours will get you there. But look, man, I'm 46 years old. I cannot drive for 14 hours. I can. My body will hurt. The day I drive 12 hours, I get home and I can't move. I'm not young anymore. I just can't drive that long. I give it up to you guys who can do that. 14 hours a day. Oof. Money says, I'm doing well. I've been missing your lives working. Hey, don't give up your work to watch my lives. If you're making money, make that money. The Fragrance, please make that money. Guys, remember to double tap the screen. This is a Q&A for Uber and Lyft drivers. What we do here is that we answer questions that you may have on rideshare, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart, the whole 9 yards. My name is Timothy. I drive in Chicago. I've been at this for 6 years. I can pretty much answer any question that you have. If you're uncomfortable writing your question in the chat, you can call me. I'll take your call and you can ask me the question. Mr. J, welcome to live. How are you doing, Jay? Zaire, welcome to live. Christopher Lacey, welcome to live. Khalifa, welcome to live. You just started last week multi-apping? Man, I turn on Uber and Lyft at the same time. How is it going for you? Is it a little intimidating? It isn't okay to link your dashcam to your Uber account. I don't. Now, I'm going to be very careful how I phrase this, right? The reason why I don't link my dashcam to Uber is when Uber wants to go against you, then you've given them the evidence against you. The beauty about having a dashcam is that if something goes against you, then you have the video to present to them. But if you link your dashcam to Uber and they want to use it against you, you've handed them the footage against you, right? So you can achieve the same purpose by still having the dashcam, and when something happens and you need to give them evidence, all you have to do is just download the footage and give it to them. But if they constantly have access to your video and they want to use it against you, so I'll let you understand what I just said the way you want to understand it. I hope I said what I was trying to say. I won't say any more than that. Lyft pays more, but Uber is good. So money the fragrance. This is what I do. This is what I always say about Uber and Lyft, right? And you're starting to notice it, which is no app is better than the other. I always say one app serves its purpose, right? Uber is better for the younger clientele for shorter rides in the city. Then Lyft is better for longer rides, older clientele, and you get more tips. Lyft is better when rides take longer. Say, for example, you're stuck in traffic on the highway. Lyft will compensate you better for that. Uber used to not to compensate you for that, but they're starting to get better at it too. But in general, if I'm going for long distance ride and say I'm going to the airport or whatever, then I'll use Lyft, because I know if I get stuck in traffic, if it takes longer or whatever, Lyft is going to pay me better. If I'm going to drive in the suburbs, I'm going to use Lyft. It just pays better for long distance ride, because in the suburbs you drive more miles. And then when I'm in the city, short distances, younger clientele, I'm going to use Uber, right? So to me, there's no such thing as one app is better than the other. It's knowing when to use one app over the other. I don't know if that makes sense. I just slowed down when school stopped last month. Unfortunately, yes. That's what happens. When schools close down, you have to make the changes too. Rideshare is about knowing when to make the changes, right? So during the summer, you have to find some of the hotspots, right? Colleges have closed, schools have closed. Me, typically, I don't do schools, I don't do colleges, because before parents used to use buses to pick up their kids. Now, half of the school parents go to pick up their kids. So all that happens is that you get stuck in traffic. So me typically, I don't do students. And also students are below 18, right? I don't do minors. It's just my preference. It's your word against theirs. Most minors today have no manners. They don't know how to talk to you. They're very good at misunderstanding. You put a minor in your car. They say you did this when you didn't do that. They take long to come to your car. They talk to you funny. So I try to stay away from minors. Even if they have a teen account, I'm not doing it. Just in general, I stay away from minors. I stay away from schools, but I do college students. Actually, my bread and butter is University of Chicago. I drive back and forth from University of Chicago. But teenagers, I stay away from them. Cheddar, greetings. How are you doing? Jay's asking, why is Uber so slow? I don't know. It happens in the summer. Just like Money the Fragrance said, college students are in holiday, so it's going to be slow. It's going to be slower. That's why. No, if teen rides work for you, that's fine. I have nothing against people who do it. It's just my preference not to do it, because, again, there's always a lot of traffic around schools. Teenagers take long to come to the car. Most of them don't respect your car. the parents stalk you the whole time you have them in the car. They stalk you, so I try to stay away from that. My trunk is completely empty. It only has a booster seat, the materials that I need for changing a tire. But other than that, yes, my trunk is empty. Ever did hotspot Amazon deliveries? No, I've never done Amazon deliveries, but I know people who have. Sometimes when Amazon had just started their deliveries, oh, they were amazing. Then by slowly they started decreasing the amount the amount they pay you out. So no, I don't. I've never bothered to do Amazon deliveries before.
Greetings, brother.
How are you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing?
I'm good. Just hold on a second. Let me answer somebody's question here.
No worries.
Cut the road. You say it's hard to keep mine empty. What do you keep in there? What do you keep in your trunk? So someone asks, on average, how many miles do you do a week? So I work 6 days a week and I average anywhere from 250 to 300 miles a day, which would be 3 times 6, which would be 1800. Anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500. I mean to 1,800 miles a week. Okay, Mr. Cheddar, how are you doing today?
Well, not too bad. How you doing?
I ain't too bad. Do you have a question or a contribution for us?
Well, I heard you talking about the teenagers and school pickups and writings and whatnot, the delays and all that. But then I wanted to chip in with the teenagers, right? I mean, the teen pickups, to me, I haven't seen any delay, with picking up teens, right? They're mostly like, they're ready to go.
Okay.
When you pull up, because they watch you, they watch the app, the directions, so they're ready for you. And, the kind of teens that I pick up and drop off, mostly, they actually will give you a tip as well, just like their adults. And if they don't, their parents will tip you, because again, I work around, wealthy people, pretty much like millionaires.
Okay.
So, the tip, it works out. I mean, for instance, just yesterday I picked up, last minute, late night pickup through Uber. And it was a guys, 3 guys that was from a golf course. It looks like they have played some golf tournament. So they're ready to go home.
Red light, camera ahead.
When I picked up those guys on the way home, they was like, man, they want some food. What's opening? At first, they want me to stop for beer. And I said, no liquor store is open right now. But there's a McDonald's that's open. And they said, yeah, they could, they'll stop for food. We went to the McDonald's. And then they bought a whole lot of food. And tipped the McDonald's of $120.
What?
Tip McDonald's over $120. And then guess what? What I get? I got $200 cash tip.
Is that the picture that you posted in the WhatsApp group?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you posted a picture in the WhatsApp group.
And that's not even the first time. I get a lot of these type of tips like frequently. And sometimes you get them who even want you to even drive them. Like they want to be they want you to be a private driver for them. So, with the teens that I pick up, mostly they're ready to go. And at the schools, I've did a couple pickups at a school, but it was after school. So, the school buses, everything was already gone before I did my pickup. So it wasn't, I did not see any delay there, but everywhere is different.
Well, you're probably in the suburbs. Picking up.
Yeah. I'm in the suburbs. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, for us, I'm talking about schools in the city. Number one, the traffic around those schools in the city is already bad, and then you have half the parents coming to pick up their kids. Those schools are crazy. They're crazy. So no, if you're picking up kids from the suburbs, yeah, I'm all for that. But in the city, I wouldn't recommend you picking up kids from the city. I mean, the traffic around those schools is notorious,
And you know
man.
what? You know the area where I work. I mean, we right next to a major highway, right? We right
Mm.
next to a major highway, interstate. So a lot of trucks. I mean, you know, trucks and everything. So it's always traffic on the road. But one thing I noticed, you know, like you said, with Lyft, we all like going out of state with Lyft, like New York. You know, we like going over there with
Mm.
Lyft because they pay you double. You know, one long ride of Lyft could be about $160 or maybe, you know, 100. I mean, you know, it is very common. So two ride alones could make your daily goal.
Yeah, Lyft with long rides really does pay well.
Yeah, yeah. I like those with Lyft.
Yeah, Lyft
Well,
Lyft really does pay well.
but then with the Uber, man, those people cheap, man.
Ah man, Uber gives me nightmares on long trips, man. They give out some crazy rides on long trips, and I'm like, Uber, are you watching this really? This is what you're doing today, you know? Uber
And
is crazy.
sometimes to me, I mean, I don't know, but you know, I heard people say it's an allegory or whatever, but still, I mean, if they sent you couple rides like over hour and 30 minutes for $39 and some change, I mean, and you
That's
can't and you
crazy.
decline that, the allegory is supposed to know you're not in for that, so
Yeah.
it's supposed to send you something better.
No, they won't do that.
Yeah, and that's very very bad. I mean, to be honest,
They'll keep throwing them at you until you take. So sorry to cut you off. Let me just say something to cut the road here.
yeah.
So cut the road. You say I keep a shopping cart, medical supplies, and a change of clothes. What else do you do? In order to have all that stuff in your trunk, do you also do medical career? Is that what you do? Okay. And then let's see. Someone says they drive in Connecticut. I go to New York City sometimes. Is it legal to get your own riders by TLC? Look, you're an independent contractor. You're allowed to do whatever you want with your car. People always ask me that, and I ask them, is it okay for you to do Lyft when you're doing Uber? And you say yes. Is it okay for you to do Grubhub when you're doing Uber? And you say yes. Is it okay for you to do any other ride share when you're doing Uber? And you say yes. So why isn't it okay for you to drive your own clients? Why isn't it okay? Why is it okay for you to do Lyft, Uber at the same time, Grubhub at the same time, medical career at the same time? But when it specifically comes to picking your own private clients, you have a problem with that. Why is it that? Why do you guys have a problem with that? So that should answer your question. Cheddar, do you have another question, or should I go to the next guy?
No, no, go to the next guy.
Moles, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. How you doing, boss man? How are you?
I'm good. I could see you're having a hard time joining us.
Yeah, because my internet. I'm here in airport, O'Hare.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. O'Hare has a problem with their internet.
Yeah, sometimes.
Um,
How you
do
doing?
you,
How are you?
I'm
Long
doing
time.
great.
That's good. That's good. How's
Number
Shudder?
one
Shudder
question.
make good
Number
money.
one question.
Yes,
Have you
sir.
got have you got another bad rating?
No, no. Thanks God. Thanks God. I have good. They give me now the good rating, but it's not go up. It's go up like slowly. I don't know why.
No, no. With Uber, they rate you per 500 miles. I mean, per
Yeah,
500 rides,
yeah,
and then for Lyft, they rate you per 100 rides.
yeah. I'm Lyft. I'm 5 star. In Lyft, I'm 5 star. But in
Okay.
Uber, now I'm 493. It was 91, but now is up to 93.
Okay. So that's a step in the right direction. So,
Yeah.
which one do you use more, Uber or Lyft?
Uber.
Okay. So, 2 months should is about the average for a bad rating to fall off if you're driving mostly Uber.
Yeah.
You do this full time, right?
Yeah, I do, but I work just eight. Eight rider per day. Just eight rider, five. Because pick a long trip, and they pay good. So if I make 250, I'm good. I make
Okay.
250. Yeah, I don't do
So
that.
so yeah, if you're taking 8 rides, it's going to take you a little longer, but it will fall off.
Yeah, like how many ride I have to do like per day if I have to work?
You probably have to average 10.
10.
Yeah.
I have.
If you
Yeah,
average 10 a day,
yeah.
in 2 months your bad rating should fall off.
Okay, thank you, brother.
Okay.
About the cars, I think how like it's better like rent car. I don't know because I have a car and it's bad condition, and I rent car now for 350 weekly, and
Okay. So
yeah,
again, this is what I tell people.
yeah,
I only recommend renting if you're doing it short term, right?
yeah, yeah,
If you're doing it long term, you say 350, right?
yeah, weekly.
What is 350 times 4?
1400.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. I don't make less in week.
Okay.
Right.
So how many car payments is that?
How many car payments is that? A good
It's
question.
1400. Those are 3 car payments, right?
Damn, 3 car payment.
Yes.
I never go to dealer. I don't know.
Okay, so
That's
so 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 on average a car payment is $500 a month, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so those are 3 car payments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So what? But because now I thinking to try black.
You want to try black?
Yeah, I want to try Uber Black.
Okay, you remember what I told you about trying black? You have to rent out one for a month, right?
Rent one? Say what?
Okay, so I always tell people,
Yeah.
are you going to rent the car for Uber Black, or are you going to buy it?
No, rent.
Oh,
Because
okay. Okay, so I always tell people who want to finally venture into Uber Black, I always tell them rent
yeah,
the car first, test the market for a month.
yeah,
The hardest month when you start Uber Black is the first month, right? So
yeah,
instead of doing the hardest month with your own car and you're not sure if you're going to keep it, right, or if it's going to work out for you, go and use somebody else's car. So go rent it out, test it out for a month. If you like the numbers, keep it. If you don't, I mean, if you like the numbers, then go buy your Uber Black. If you don't
yeah,
like the numbers, you have an exit strategy.
yeah,
You just go back and give back the car.
yeah. So what car you think is better? Like the small cars, the XL, the X for like for finance by the dealer routes, like better for
Well, look,
in Chicago too. Yeah,
I think the biggest one would be the best because, um, especially especially if you're going to drive at night, most of your
yeah,
clients are going to be groups of people, and they're going to want bigger cars. The thing about buying a Mercedes Benz or a BMW or whatever, the sedans, is that the most it can carry is 2 people, right?
yeah,
And so number one, the clientele is not, it's not like Uber X or XL where you're going to have clientele all through the night. With Uber Black, it's going to take you a while to get a customer. So when you do finally get the, I mean, when it takes you that long to get a customer, and then
yeah,
again you bring it down to you only getting a person who's traveling by themselves, you know, you've made your life a little harder, right? So you get a car that can accommodate all kinds. It can accommodate a big group, a small group, or one person. So I would recommend getting a bigger car. I think they cost about the same. And
bigger car.
a Mercedes Benz sedan about the same price as an Escalade, a big SUV Escalade. They're both 80 grand, right?
or more.
Yeah, they're both about the same price. So I would get a bigger
Yeah,
car.
bigger car.
I
Bigger
would get
car
a
for
bigger
the
car.
XL and comfort.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think it's not like which one like have like a lot of clients. I mean, X or the XL or comfort.
Okay, so for the black, that is the highest you can go. So
Yeah.
you're looking at either the Escalade, the Suburban, the Chrysler. You're looking at the Lexus. You're looking at
Yeah.
the BMW.
Yeah.
So
Do you like?
yes, that's the Escalade.
Yeah.
The big SUVs. Those are
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ones.
The black one.
Yeah. Yeah. This the 8-seater. You're looking for the 8-seater cars.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question you have to school to go to before to go to do Uber Black or something.
Number one, your rating cannot go any lower than that. I think the qualifying rating for Uber Black
Yeah.
is 4.86,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, you go to a class. And then you are supposed to get commercial plates. What else? There are some fees. There are commercial fees that you pay every so often. You pay for commercial plates and also some other commercial fees that you pay.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then the license is same license or different?
the
Driver
driver's
license.
license.
Yeah.
No, the driver's license is the same.
It's the same.
It's the same. You don't get a special license.
Okay. Okay. You don't know where is the school? You can text me in the WhatsApp.
I'll find out for you. You send me a DM to remind me, and I'll find out for you what school you go to, and I'll let you know where to go and get it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, brother. Brother, you don't work in 9?
No,
Then before last week in Oakland, Burbank, it was search 2330. It was big party in Harlem, Bridgeview. The people like go see
the
30
last
minutes for
week,
$60.
the last week in Chicago has been very good during the day, during the night. There's
Yeah.
to me, it doesn't pay any much more at night than during the day. It just doesn't pay enough for me to make the commitment, right? If it was paying me $100
Yeah, yeah.
more to drive at night, then I would make the commitment. But if I drive at night and I make $20 more or $25 more than I make during the
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
then to me
Yep.
it's not worth the energy.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So it has
Exactly.
to be
But
significant.
sometimes, some night.
Yeah,
Yep. Exactly.
yeah, it has to be
But
significant
some
enough for me
night
to make the commitment.
Yep.
Go ahead.
But like last week it was like almost 200 difference between 9 in the morning.
Yeah, but I mean
Yes.
that was just 1 week.
Yeah, just 1 week, just one
Yeah,
week.
it was just 1 week. So again,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll make some day changes when I see that a holiday is coming up or whatever. Then I'll drive a little longer. I'll drive late
Yeah.
into the night, like maybe 1 a.m. or
Yeah.
2 a.m. or whatever. But I'm not going to make it
Yeah.
my daily schedule just because of a couple of days extra. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, so let's see if we can find another question. Again,
I have a question for Tidara. Where he work? I have to work back there because they have good tip back there. Where he
where
work?
where do I work?
Shidar. Maybe.
Oh,
No.
you're
The guy
asking,
he.
Oh,
Sheda.
I work in Connecticut.
Where?
Connecticut.
Kenji? Where?
What state? What state are you in? What state are you in?
Illinois.
He's in
Yeah,
Illinois.
so I'm not in Illinois.
He's not in Illinois.
No, he's not in Illinois.
I'm not in Illinois. Different state.
Oh, where?
Connecticut, next to New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
New York, I hear New York, good money back there too.
Yeah, New York is good money. New York is better
Yeah.
because New York you can pick up in Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. But Connecticut you cannot pick up anywhere else. It's only one way.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just be careful. I hear they do a lot of reports back there in New York.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so for guys who are just joining us, what we do here, this is a Q&A for Uber and Lyft drivers. What we do here is that we answer questions regarding rideshare, Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart, the whole 9 yards. We also answer questions on medical career. We answer questions on Uber Black. And what we have down there is a QR code. What happens is that if you give me your name and number, I'll make you a QR code. You can put it on your steering wheel, on your dashboard, on the door by the passenger, on your the headrest. And if the person is comfortable with you and they ask you for your number so they can do private rides, all they have to do is scan the QR code. Your name and number will appear in their phone, and you press save. Cheddar, is the QR code working just fine?
I haven't printed out yet. I haven't printed out yet.
Did you scan it though?
I haven't done nothing to it. It's still, I haven't done anything to it yet.
Okay, I sent you pictures on how I use mine.
Yep, I saw it. So I'm gonna do the same. So, most likely I'm gonna go to the library and print it out. And then when I print it out, I'll try to cut it, cut it to fit, so I can laminate it and then attach it to the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
So someone says I drive Uber one day, the same day I quit. It's not a job. You pick up a lot of trash people. It's like any other customer service job. You have to be able to figure out who are the good riders, who are the bad drivers. Just like any other customer service job, if you work at McDonald's, some customers are going to be trash, some customers are going to be good. It's the same thing with Uber. You're going to get some bad customers, you're going to get some good customers. If you go into a bad neighborhood, then all your riders are going to be bad. If you go into a good neighborhood, then all your riders are going to be good. But on average, on average, 70 to 80% of your riders are always going to be good, and then 25 to 30% of your riders are going to be bad, just like any other customer service job.
Before, I don't know where I'm going. Why? Yep, exactly. Why the rating go back? Because the bad neighborhood, they always one tip, one the reports. They do a lot of bad things, man.
Look. Bad neighborhoods are. I only use bad neighborhoods like when the day is going bad, and usually during the morning. In the morning, Uber and Lyft are really bad, right? So that's when I drive in the south side. The south side always needs rides during the day. If you're having a bad day, I don't know whether Miles you do that, but when I'm having a bad day, I go to the. That's what I do. So we have somebody else who has joined us. This will be the last person. I've been at this for a long time. So Elban, welcome to the live. How are you doing today?
Good, welcome. Have a long time ago.
Say what? You came on the live long time ago. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, a long time. I didn't see you in live.
Oh, I changed my time on Tuesday. I used to be earlier. Now I'm a little later. Maybe you kept on looking at the same time, and I changed the time.
How's Uber in Chicago? It's really bad. It's really bad. Uber and Lyft here in Cleveland, really, really bad.
Yeah. Wow.
It's shitty.
It's just getting worse.
It's just getting worse, and I don't understand. Like,
Have you tried to drive at different times?
Yeah, I try to. Now it's nighttime. It's a little bit better, but it's really daytime. It's dead, like dead. Like you can stay 15 minutes without any ride. But nighttime, it's a little bit.
A little better.
Yes. It's like 350. You have to work like 12 hours now. It's crazy.
Uh, um, uh, uh, hey, that's pretty much everywhere.
Same here in Chicago, man.
Yeah, it's pretty much
Some
everywhere. You have to
yeah.
work on I always say every year you have to work an extra hour than the previous year just to make the same amount of money.
In winter time,
It's
it was easy.
yeah, it's getting worse and worse and worse. That's why I always recommend that you need to start getting private clientele. At least a quarter of your clients should be private clientele in order for you to survive.
It's legal to ask them to be private.
Again, let me answer this the way I usually answer this, right? Is it legal for you to drive Uber and Lyft at the same time?
No. My question is, it's
No,
legal
you
to.
answer me now. Is it legal for you to drive Uber and Lyft at the same time?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Is it legal for you to do Uber and any other ride share at the same time?
Of course.
Then why is it illegal for you to drive Uber and private clients at the same time?
My question is, it's legal to ask a client. He came from like he get within your car like with like application like Uber and Lyft to ask him is to be your private client. Is that legal?
I always say let them initiate the conversation.
They always ask me to be like a private to
Then
be
that's
my number.
okay. That's okay. If they're the ones who are initiating it, then that's okay because your number one fear is them going to report you to Uber, right?
Yeah.
If they're the ones who initiated it, then they're not the ones who are going to report you, right?
No, yeah, that's I'm scared about that. Like,
Yes. So you as long as the rider is the one who is initiating the conversation, then you're fine. The problem is when you are the one who initiates it.
like they ask like only one app. I told them the only one app like Lyft they can send you anywhere, but Lyft can send you back wherever you want. Like if Lyft send me like 15 minutes, Uber gonna give me somebody to go back to Cleveland. I have opportunity to get like a black car like Uber Black, but I'm so scared from that. It's slow here in Cleveland. I'm thinking about like another state. How about Chicago and Lyft Black? Did you try it there?
Yeah. But there are too many Uber Blacks in Chicago. There are too many. There are too many Uber Blacks in Chicago. Before they used to put a cap on how many Uber Blacks there would be in Chicago City. Now there's no longer a cap, so anybody can get an Uber Black and just start driving. There are too many Uber Blacks in Chicago. I won't recommend anybody to start Uber Black in Chicago.
My friend here in Cleveland, he told me he only make like 350 or and 300. I told him that is the same with the regular car.
Yeah, there's no need to do that.
Yeah,
And also Uber Black is much more profitable when you have private clientele.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so you have to do the work. Most of the people that get 350, 400 don't have private clientele. They haven't done the work to get the private clientele.
Hmm.
So you have to put in the work. Let's see.
Okay, I will try. I will.
Okay, I see Uber Black is busy. I see Uber Black is busy in Chicago. No, okay, so it looks busy because there are many Uber Blacks, right? Just like there are many Uber X's in Chicago. It
How
doesn't
many
mean that
riders?
it doesn't mean that all of you are making good money. I'm answering Deluxe car service here.
Yeah, when you go to the airport over there, how many car like at the load like?
On average,
Yeah.
220, 250. I never go to the
In
airport.
Cleveland, it's like if we see like 25 in the airport, we said a lot. Like,
Well, O'Hare is one of the biggest
yeah,
airports in the
that's true.
country. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
thank you so much.
you're welcome. Deluxe car service, right? Just because you see many Uber Blacks in the city doesn't mean all of them are making good money. There's a difference between seeing many cars and them making good money. I thought you could only do one app at a time. No, we do Uber and Lyft every day. Sometimes I have 4 apps running at the same time, right? What about insurance? Get private insurance. I use an insurance called Platinum Insurance, and it charges me, depending on your state, it will charge anywhere from $120 to $300 a month, right? So yes, you can get commercial insurance to do private rides. Okay, someone says I had someone throw up in the back seat of my car and I never got reimbursed. Why didn't you get reimbursed? They wanted a cleaning service receipt. So Fog Temp, next time you need a cleaning service receipt, that's what Chat GPT is for. You go and make a cleaning receipt using AI, and that's what you hand in. That's all I can say about that. I won't explain any further than that. Okay, guys, I'm going to answer 2 more questions and then I'll call it a day. I've been on here for 2 hours. It's almost time for me to leave. So for those of you in the chat, remember, type 1 if you need driver, 2 if you're intermediate, 3 if you're experienced. So and let us know what city and state you're from. I started doing Uber 2 days ago. When I drop off someone at the airport, I don't get rides. Okay, so typically you've started doing Uber 2 days ago. This is what happens when you drop off somebody at the airport. When you drop off somebody at the airport, you have to go and get into the lineup. So you drop them off, then you drive to the parking lot where it is that you normally go to, and then you have to enter into the lineup. So those people who go to the airport before you are going to get rides before you, right? That is one of that is one of the disadvantages of driving to the airport, of which new drivers usually do. They get a nice ride out of the city, taking them to the airport. They get excited, and then they take the ride, and then they forget that you're going to drop off the person. You're going to drive to the parking lot, which is 10 minutes. You're going to enter the lineup, which is going to take you anywhere from 25, 30 to 40 minutes. And then you're going to drive an extra 10 minutes right back to pick up the new passenger that you've got. And half the time you don't like how much they're offering. So it's one of those things where you have to weigh whether the amount that they're giving you to go to the airport outweighs you waiting when you get to the airport. So I'll give you another example. If I'm in the city and they offer me $40 to go to the airport, I'm not going to take it, because again, I've explained to you, you're going to spend 10 minutes after dropping off going to the airport. I'm into the parking lot. You're going to wait an extra 25, 30 minutes. And then you're going to take another 10 minutes to go back to pick up the customer. And yet, if you had stayed in the city and taken 4 short rides in that hour, you'd make the same $40. So new drivers tend to make that mistake all the time. They get excited when they see an upfront fee going to the airport, and then when they get to the airport, they don't get a ride. And I think that's what happened with you. They gave you a good ride and you got excited.
Hey, brother.
Yes, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. Man, you're doing a great job, man. You're educating everybody. Yeah, so I think you need to really talk more about this airport rides.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand why people do it. You see, sometimes when I'm telling you, sometimes when I'm driving by the airport and I see a lot of drivers parked, I'm like, what is wrong with these people? Like, there was a time I'm like, you know what they call FOMO, like fear of missing out, I thought maybe I am missing out on something. Like, what do all these people know that I don't know? Why are they waiting at the airport?
I have an answer for you.
Yeah.
They don't have the same bills we got.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. So
Have you seen half of those people at the airport? The elderly men. Those guys are running away from their
yes,
wives, man.
yes, I agree with you, bro.
Yeah,
I
it has
agree
got
with you.
nothing to do with rideshare. Look, I find people sitting in picnic chairs. They're watching AirPod, iPads
I
and movies and stuff, and their feet out of the window. It,
right, right,
even when there's surges at the airport, they're not panicking. They're just walking around and they're smoking. I'm like, no, these guys have different bills. They're not in the same class as us.
right. Because just this Saturday, I just said, you know what? Let me try this one more time. Maybe I'm missing something.
Uh,
So I went to the line and they said, oh, go straight to the pickup spot and somebody's waiting. Okay. So I got there and they gave me, it was like $15 for 30 miles. I'm like, what? What? So I canceled it.
yeah.
When I canceled it, they said, oh, you have to go back on the line because I've missed my spot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so they actually wanted me to do that $15 for 30 miles.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? I really want to see. I went back again and I waited. Then they told me, okay, go back. I went there again. The same thing. It was even worse.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I think our people need more education about this.
You said instead of doing the ride for 45 and the passenger gave you 145 for the same distance. Look, I said, okay, let me explain one more time. When you take a ride to the airport, right? Whether it's cash, whether it's Uber or whatever, right? You have to take it knowing what is going to happen. So the only time I'll take a ride to the airport is if the amount they're giving me is going to compensate for the extra time that I'm going to spend there, right? So like for example, at our airport at O'Hare, if you stop at United, Uber is going to give you another ride. So I'm only going to take a ride that is going to stop at United. So Terminal 1. Let me rephrase. When you get to Terminal 1 and you drop off somebody, there are 3 terminals. They'll give you somebody in Terminal 2 or Terminal 3, right? When you get there. So I'll only take a ride that is stopping me at Terminal 1. Or I'll take a ride to the airport that is giving me enough time, enough money to compensate the extra time that I'm going to spend dropping off the customer, going to the parking lot, waiting, and then coming back to pick them up. Or I'll just simply drop them off and then drive away from the airport. If you drive 2-3 miles away from the airport, then your app opens up to normal rides. So I'll do that, and I only do that when I've looked at the airport and I see how many drivers are there. If I look at the airport and it has a certain number of drivers that I'm happy with, then I'll take the ride to the airport so I don't spend a lot of time there. If it has a lot of drivers, I won't even waste my time, right? So it's for you to assess and make a good decision based on what you've seen at the airport. That's what I was trying to say. One more. I only do airport just to rest after 4 hours driving. That's good. Look, I used to go to the airport after working my regular job when I still used to do my regular job. So I would get off my regular job, I would go to the airport, take a nap for 30 minutes, then accept my first ride. It looks like that's what you use the airport for too. I used to do that. Someone says they want to get away from their wives and kids. That's about right. And Uber cuts big for, okay, yes, worst. I just use the airport to get a ride home. I also do that at the end. At the end, after I've jumped out of the city, I'll go to the airport and try to get my last ride. Depending on how many drivers are there. I also do that. So yeah, you guys have the right the right strategy. Uber takes more percentage. Is it normal not to get a trip request for? Okay, it's normal For Uber to make you wait for an hour or more to get a request, it's not normal for you to do it, right? If you're waiting for an hour, look, if you're waiting for an hour for a ride, how much is it going to pay you? Some people wait at the airport for an hour and a half and an hour to get a $20 ride, to get a $25 ride, get a $30 ride. So you've spent an hour and a half at the airport. If you had driven 5-6 miles away from the airport, you would have made that money in 45 minutes. Why are you spending it at the airport waiting for a ride? So you just have to do the math. It just doesn't make sense for you to wait at the airport for more than an hour for a ride. And if you've been at the airport more than once, you can tell based on the number of people who are there how long it's going to take you to get a ride. So me once there are more than 100, I don't even waste my time. I just drive away. Raouf, Uber pays tolls all the time. They probably don't look like they're paying tolls to you because they don't come immediately. But Uber does a very good job at paying you your tolls back. Even Lyft does. They do a very good job of paying back the tolls. Uber should investigate false information from riders. They should, but they don't. Uber should give us better rides, but they don't. Uber should give us benefits, but they don't. I mean, I can go down the list. So guys, I've come to the end of my live. I do this every Tuesday at about the same time. You can come back next Tuesday. Have your questions ready. I'll take them. And if you want to call in, you can call in. I've come to the end of the live. Yep, I pretty much answered everybody's question. So guys, I always refuse bad rides, but I always refuse bad rides, but Uber keeps sending worse. 90% of the rides, Uber is going to send you bad rides. That's the fact. So you just have to keep cherry picking. Just keep cherry picking, keep cherry picking. 90% of the rides Uber and Lyft send you are bad rides. It's part of the game. Get used to it and do what you need to do. So guys, next Tuesday, same time. Bye bye.